Okay, so for this guy, we're going to look at a 3ds file. And so I'm just going to go to File and New and not save changes. And this is furniture, so maybe small objects, feet and inches, right? Click Open. And then I'm going to go to File, Import. And I'm in Rhino, obviously, my 3ds file. And I'll click Open, and it's going to ask me if I want to weld, and I'm at 22.5, and I'm just going to accept that. It's going to do that to the mesh, and it's going to say Rhino units are in feet, 3ds units are in centimeters, scale it. And I'll say, okay, yeah, sure, go ahead and scale it. And you click OK. And then I'm going to come in and just do a DIST, so a distance, and see how big this guy is. So it's like 17 feet, which obviously is not what we want. So I'm just going to pick this guy and pick the whole thing and scale it. Let's scale it maybe from the center by 1/12, right? And then if I do a DIST, how big is that? Right, 1'4". So that's about right. It just got it off by the feet and inches. So sometimes you'll have to rescale things. Now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to pick the top part and I'm going to change that layer to layer 1. And then I'll pick the feet and change that to layer 2. And then I'm just going to delete these other layers because I do not need them, right? And you can save this if you want to, but at this point you can save it as a 3DM, but I'm just going to go File, Export Selected, and I'll export it as a DWG, and I'll just call it Poof DWG. And right now it's set to 2007 solids, and if you look at that, general it'll export surfaces as solid and meshes as meshes, so we're good there. And I'll just click OK and click Save and click OK, and then it's basically the same process. Let me go ahead and make this big as the let me delete that one, as the DWG now, right? So you would just go to File, New, Family, and go to your English Imperial templates, right? So you'll be in your Revit Family Templates, English Imperial. Pick the furniture, open that guy, and then you would go to Insert, Import CAD, and go get that DWG file that we just made, so our little poof, right? And click Open, and it'll place it right there. The materials are going to work just like they work in the DWG. So if I were to go to my Manage and Object Styles and go to Imported Objects, I'll have layer 1 and layer 2. I probably should have renamed those. Would have been better. Let's rename layer 1 is top, and layer 2 is feet, right? Okay. And here's the material settings. We can change all this in the project once we get it in there. Again, this is what it's going to look like if I go to Hidden Line when it gets placed in Plan. So you could go in and go to Create, or sorry, go to Annotate and do a masking region. And just, let's do a rectangle around this guy about like that. And then maybe we'll do a fillet arc, and let's do a radius. What would the 1 foot radius look like? Oh, a little too much. So maybe 6 inches. How's that? Yeah, that'll work. So just fillet that out and check. And then I will go to Wireframe and say, please don't show this in plan view. Get rid of that. Click OK, and then let's save it, right? DWG Poof, right? And then I can load that into the project, right? And it will place that poof right there. And I can, do whatever I want with it. You can also you know, if I go back to this guy, you could do the same thing in the front and the, I wonder if it would let me. Let's try this. Let me Control C and let me go to the left. Where is it? There it is. Will it let me paste? Paste from clipboard? I guess it's just pasting it flat. Yeah, so you could go in and go to your annotate and your masking region, and I'll do a rectangle, and let's set the radius at 6 inches and do, oops, a little bit too much. It's a little bit more square on this side. Let's get rid of the radius. Maybe do an arc right from there to there to there, from there, whoops, from there to there to there, and then maybe we just do that, and let's draw one from there to there. Oh, that was a straight line anyway, so we'll just draw a line from there to there and trim all this out, right? So I'll just trim it. Again, you could be more accurate, and then you could come in and I'll just put a couple of little, let's just hit check there, and then I'll go ahead and put in a little rectangle to cover the footies. Again, you could be more accurate if you wanted to. And I'll just mirror that around here. Okay, and then I'll pick this guy, and visibility settings, I'm in the left right now. Just go to the left, right, and if I load into project and overwrite the existing version, I should be able to go to where I can see my sections. Let's zoom in on that little poof and take a look at it here. And if I'm looking at it from the side, right, it's going to replace that model with this section. So you could also do it on the front back, right? So if I'm looking at it, it's still going to look a little weird from this direction, right? Because I haven't done the front back yet. Okay. All right, so that's it.